Today I'm going to teach you how to make these really simple pinwheels. This is just a very small batch. I'm essentially just halving my recipe. So I'm starting with half a block of cream cheese, and then I'm going to do half a cup of sour cream. And obviously make sure that your cream cheese is softened. Next, I'm gonna add these spices, and believe it or not, there are no measurements for this, so I'm just winging it today. So I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion. Ooh, that's a lot of onion powder. And then I'm gonna do some dried chives. I'm gonna do a little bit more. Were you concerned that I forgot this? No, I never forget the pepper. Although, believe it or not, my best pinwheel recipe actually does not call for pepper, and I do not put pepper in it because I think if I put pepper in it, it would kind of taste a little weird. So I know that's odd. And then next I'm gonna add half a cup of shredded cheddar cheese. Okay, now I have 4 of these medium-sized flour tortillas. It's all I had. I usually use large flour tortillas when I'm making pinwheels, but if you recall from my last video, a few videos back, I made some chicken enchiladas. So these were the 4 remaining. I know you can't see the other 2, they're right there. These were just the leftover flour tortillas from those, so I'm just using what I got. I'm just gonna do like a good spoonful on each one. And you just spread them out. I always kind of leave one end of my flour tortilla pretty light because by the time you roll it, the filling is gonna kind of roll into this area. So I don't put too much. And then also, you don't necessarily have to go too far in the ends because I always chop off the ends. Although if you know me, when I'm cutting these up, I usually snack on the ends. So if you get some on the very edge, it's fine. Makes for an excellent snack. Okay, next I have some fancy deli ham from the deli. And for these, I think I'm just gonna do one. They're pretty large, but put as much meat on there as you want to. Some of these tortillas, this one I'm gonna add 2 slices because it is kind of bigger. And sometimes I'll even like rip the meat so that way you can fit it on there better. See how I did this one? Ta-da! So just kind of do whatever you think is best. Use your best judgment. Okay, because I love you, I'm gonna share with you my top secret trick that I do with my pinwheels. Have you ever had a pinwheel before where they roll them up and you go to bite into them and like the meat and stuff kind of like wants to separate from the pinwheel itself? It's because there's nothing to bind the meat to the other layer of tortilla when you go to roll it. So what I do is I take just some plain spreadable cream cheese and I put it on top of the meat. So that way when you go to roll this, it's now gonna have something to stick to the tortilla. Now you don't have to do this, like you can totally just roll them up how they are, but this is just my little tip and I find that it works really, really well. Okay, now comes the fun part where you just roll them up. And I try to go really tight with them. And your ham is probably gonna spread out a little bit, that's okay. It'll all work out in the end, I promise. See what I mean by not going too far to the edge, because see how as I'm rolling it, it's now to the edge. I'm just gonna cover these and refrigerate them for about 1 hour. I just cut them into little slices. you're feeding more people, make them smaller. If, you know, this is about the size I usually cut them. And see, this is ugly, so I have to eat it. And that is what they look like.